buying a house is a scam. It is a scam. What is a scam? A scam is something that you do when you don't have full knowledge, fraud. You are deceived. So let me give you the story of my life. When I started my real estate journey, and you can use the link to check me out, or go and look for graceofure.com before on YouTube. Sometimes when you see people online come to market something to you, come to tell you anything, whether they are marketing for you, whether they are teaching you, whether you got a free training, whether it is important. Let me wear my glasses so you can see it very well. It is important to go and check them out. Oh, wear your glasses. Clean it, very clean. This person you want to listen to, do you know this person? No. So why do you think what this person is telling you is correct? So how to find out? You just take the person's name. Very easy. Grace Ofure Ivahom. Does she have a story? Does she have integrity? Is she a criminal? The digital world has made our lives very easy. Technology can lie, but we not lie. Cannot bring 500 people to lie. So I have a story, and I want to share my story in this training. Number one is I was poor, broke. Now, not only okay, I have made people to be okay. And one of the things I am using to make them to be okay is to give them knowledge in wealth creation, because it's not being taught in schools or in government. And that is why if you finish taking this training, there's another training you should ask for. Maybe you got this training for free, or this training came to you, or somebody paid for the training and they sent it to you. Ask for the training called Another Big Scam Mortgage. You can ask for that training at the end of this training. If it's free, you take. If it's for payment, you pay. Whichever way, you get the training. Buying a house is a scam. So when I started to grow in my journey of making money, I wanted to buy a house. I wanted the whole world to know that I have arrived. So one day I called a developer. I don't want to help him. I don't want to market him. And I said, I want to buy a house. And the developer told me how much the house is. So I said, okay, I will pay within 1 year. And when I say buying a house is a scam, it is when you buy a house to live in the house. It is not necessarily that buying a house is a scam. It's what you do with the house. When you are building wealth, you will scam yourself if what you think in your mind is that the day you buy a house, you are rich. Far, 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 far. I live in a house now, but I'll tell you why I decided to do that. When you live in your house, you spend more than when you are in rent. See, you see that thing they told you, sack your landlord, is because they are poor people. Because I can't say sack my landlord, because me too, I'm a landlord. That means I'm also prophesying that people should sack me. No. Paying rent doesn't make you poor. And listen well. Paying rent doesn't make you poor. It's who is paying the rent. So I started to get better. Started to see 5 kobo. But then I was already in the business of trading real estate. So I gathered some money and I wanted to, this time, I must buy a house. The house was 40 million. The developer said 10% you pay. Then I met my coach. Not Africa coach, Africa coach. They will come with Africa mindset. That's why the teacher need to say Africa parents. They're very correct. Africa coach, we said, stop paying rent. So I met my coach and I took a training. Then this thing opened up. That's the best thing that has happened to my life. And I paid a lot of money. So when you want to create wealth, find out who has created wealth and pay them. And pay them to teach you how to create wealth. Wealth is not taught in any school. In short, we are the first ever in this world, check it out, that have come up with a physical campus to teach wealth. We are on the process of constructing a magnificent building for wealth creation. Because this world, the government, financial institute, they are not willing for you to be wealthy. Because if you are wealthy, you will reduce their business. Because for you to be wealthy, you will know secrets of wealth. And the bank and the government, you will catch them. So this is what happened in that training. We did what we call we analyzed a case study of how much is this rent that I'm paying. My rent was let's assume $1,000 because this is a global training. How much is this house I want to buy? The house was $50,000. What is the percentage of $1,000 to $50,000? You can do the math. So, and that is all the money I have. Maybe you have been giving gratuity. I'll be giving, I don't know, however you got the money. But, and that's all you have. All you have. All you have is this house. And you want to live in the house. It's a different case. You are buying the house for something else. But this one, you want to live inside the house. So all this ceremony is to take picture, selfie, and now live in this house. Come on, let's do housewarming. So you take your 40 million, you sit down inside the house. Do you know what you did? You just sat down on top of your capital. So in your mind, I don't pay rent again. And what is this rent? 6%. Good. If you so love real estate and you want this money to be real estate, what you are supposed to do is to trade with that money and use from the profit to pay your rent. So buying that house is a scam. Now you are sat on top of the 40 million. You were able to produce 1.5 every year to pay your rent. You can't produce it again because you have become a landlord. So whether you like it or not, your mind have told you, I have a house now. Why should I bother? Your productivity will reduce in terms of, because it takes productivity to make money anyway. Now you live in a house. It will reduce your productivity because your mind has gotten this picture of I own a house. So when you are supposed to sit there and say, what more can I do to pay my rent? No, it's not part of your talking. You're a big man. You have a house now. What you don't know is that your house in your mind is appreciating. Well, it's depreciating because it is not an asset. It's a liability. You will change the bulb. You will do the cleaning. If you have my own kind of one, the swimming pool will be making noise. You have to do flower. I told my kids that. Even right now, this house has paid for itself. But even that it has paid for itself, don't still worry. When you people go, I shall move. Because what do I need it for? So when should you know it is not a scam? It is when this house you want to buy, that money you want to put, has produced for you 10 times. So that means I have to put my 40 million to work to produce 40 million times 10, which is 100 million, 400 million. Then I will take a 10% of it to buy the house. Remember, it might take me 5 years to do that. So in 5 years' time, maybe this house that was 40 million is actually now, because that's the thing they tell you that is the full scam. The house is now actually 60 million. No, but you have 400 million. So you'll have worked the money 10 times. That the day you are buying the house, it's free. What that means is you have bought this house 10 times and it's become free. So what you are supposed to do is to work to make your home an investment that will produce for you 10 more times. Did you hear me? Work. Ensure it's an investment that will produce 10 times more. Then you go and buy with 10% of the 10 times. That means from 400 million, you are able to buy one house, even if the house is not 100 million that time. So most times, ownership, it's a mindset thing. Nobody is interested in your name written on top of the house, and nobody even cares who owns the house. So when you do this calculation, you discover that if the 40 million can give you 30% every year, what that means is that you can use 6% to pay for your rent. And what do you have left? You have 24% more. And you have traded. And sometimes you could actually have 50%, 100%. So I would rather use my money to go and buy a house for capital appreciation and use part of my capital appreciation to pay my rent than use my capital to go and sit down and call myself a landlord that I have not become. You are only a landlord when you can buy 10 of it. And so, if you were thinking of buying a house now, unless you are buying the 10th one, then you can go and stay. I'm talking to those that want to create wealth too. You know, wealth is not for everybody. But if you are planning or thinking that you want to create wealth, using your first money you have put together to go and buy a house keeps you poor, will not make you wealthy. But thinking outside of the box and think of how you can continue to use that money to produce your rent and even more makes you closer to wealth. Thank you so much for attending. I'll see you in the next class.